What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have some really exciting news about the very famous and popular Honda Civic. So Honda has been making the Civic since, believe it or not, since 1973, and we are now going to be entering the 11th generation of the Honda Civic. And today we have some patent registrations from Honda, which are official, pretty much kind of confirming the design of this new Honda Civic. And today we're going to be talking about the entire design of this vehicle, front, side, and rear, and comparing it to the older version. And then we're going to be talking about some powertrains and the SI and Type R variants, so stay tuned. Unfortunately, we do not have official images. These are only the patent ones that they make on the computers and whatnot to finalize and talk about the design of this vehicle. But jumping straight into the front of this vehicle, this is the first picture that we received today. Front of the vehicle, I'm going to be honest, when I first saw this, it looked a little bit outdated. Maybe it's because I'm seeing it in black and white and, in like a drawn kind of form, and I'm not seeing the actual car, but it did look a little bit outdated to me. Or maybe it's just that the older Civic looked a little bit too sporty. Here, if you compare it side by side, as you can see, the older Civic had a lot more kind of a U shape going on in the front, curved lights on the front, a lot sharper lights. You had a lot more vents under the front headlights, whereas this Civic, I guess it's not a bad thing because it is simpling down the design of the vehicle. The older Civic was not liked by a lot of people for its kind of interesting and overly sporty design, but I think this one kind of takes what the older Civic had and kind of tones it down a little bit, and that's exactly what a lot of people wanted out of the Civic. Now moving on to the side profile of this vehicle, really nothing to say here. It looks almost identical to the outgoing Civic, only the front and the back, as you'll notice, have different lights. We'll get into the back in a little bit here. This is the hatchback version. Pretty much line-wise, it looks very similar. The body lines look very similar. The body line on the bottom of the doors, from going from the front door to the back door, that I think is also a little bit toned down from the previous version of the Civic, but that's pretty much it. The back is very different, so let's get straight into that. Okay, and now looking at the back of this new Honda Civic, the back is really interesting. I don't know what kind of design they were going with here, but overall I think it looks not bad. I think it looks pretty good, but they kind of went with like a light bar design, which pretty much every single vehicle on the market is doing nowadays. And they also went with like a curved kind of design underneath that light bar. It reminds me a lot of the Kia Stinger. Look at this. If you look at a angle of this car directly from the back, it looks almost exactly like a Kia Stinger. I think even from afar you won't really be able to tell that it is a Honda Civic. It looks really similar to a Kia Stinger. Am I the only one who thinks that? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, it looks like this is Honda's new design language. This might be going on to the new Accord, Odyssey, CR-V, pretty much all of their models, because previously, before this, the rear lights had that kind of C design, which the Civic started, and it kind of trickled down to all the other models. It went to the Accord, to the Odyssey, pretty much all their models. So this might actually be what Honda is using for all of their vehicles. And that completes the design overview. Let's get straight into the powertrains and different options that we will have for this Civic. Okay, and the very first piece of information that we have with the models and powertrain wise is that we will be getting a Honda Civic SI. Now, they didn't say if it was going to be a 6-speed manual, but it's kind of a given. I mean, Civic Si has always been only manual. They have not ever had, I think, a automatic transmission with the Si. So do expect probably a 6-speed manual transmission with the Civic Si. That has been totally confirmed. Now, the next piece of information is even more exciting. We have a Honda Civic Type R, which is going to be in development. This is going to use a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine. But that is not the exciting part. The exciting part is that this thing is going to have 400 horsepower, supposedly, which is amazing for a Honda Civic. That is really good numbers. That is actually up about 100 horsepower from the previous Honda Civic Type R. And the other difference is that the Honda Civic Type R is going to have an electric motor within the vehicle, which is going to help the Civic Type R be a little bit faster. It's going to help the gasoline engine push the car forward a little bit faster and give you an extra boost of horsepower. And that pretty much does it. That is all the information that we have so far with the new Honda Civic, as far as the design goes and the powertrain and horsepower numbers. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day.